computer. I'm recording because I'm getting my 500-hour, I'm working on my 500-hour yoga certification right now with my vinyasa practice in Austin. So I have 20 hours of karma hours that I am working towards. And so I've been recording the Zoom calls, and then we are also meeting on Fridays at Daggett. We meet in that parking lot, again, social distanced, outside at 7:30 a.m. So you're also welcome to come to that anytime. And I also just, I record myself. I'm not recording you or anything. But I'm working towards that right now. So I'm trying to put into practice some of the things that I'm learning. And everything is free. I don't want you to feel like you have to pay for anything. Of course, you can always make a donation to Yogi Squad because Yogi Squad needs it. But other than that, these are free classes, karma classes. So yeah, welcome. My name is Brooke Blankenship, and we're going to get started. We're going to lay down on our backs. Bring your strap with you, and just lay your strap down to your side. Don't worry about it for right now. I want you to turn your palms up towards the ceiling and just take a moment to maybe walk your shoulder blades a little bit closer together, making a little heart for your pillow, or a pillow for your heart, and opening up the front of the shoulders and the collarbone as well. And just take a moment to relax the body, come into your space. Feel free to spread the arms and legs out, taking up space. Starting to pay attention to your breath, your inhale and exhale. Seeing which parts of the body are rising with the inhale and falling with the exhale. Tracking the breath as it comes in through the nose and down through the chest into the belly. Circles around and then comes back out again. Feeling supported by the ground beneath you, the earth. Slowly, we're going to bring movement into the body. I want you to bring your right knee up and in towards your chest. Grab hold of the shin and gently pull the knee towards the chest.
Taking a big breath in through the nose. And then as you exhale, squeezing that knee in close as you can. And then we're going to start circling that knee around. So just circling around, gently moving the femur in that hip socket. Feel free to slow down and linger anywhere where it might feel a little twitchy or uncomfortable. And sending your breath into that area. Just imagining that your breath is coming down into that hip socket and maybe creating a little bit more room for you to stretch and flex and strengthen. And then bringing the knee back in towards the chest. Now grabbing for your strap. Unwinding your strap. I recommend grabbing the actual buckle in your hand, and that way that's not flopping around on you. And then taking the strap and wrapping it around the ball mound of the foot. So wrapping it around the ball mound of the foot and then gently straightening the leg, maybe keeping a little bit of bend, being gentle with yourself here. Giving yourself a few breaths just to feel the position in your body. Maybe you work on straightening the leg a little bit. Bringing the toes just a little bit closer to the face, maybe just a centimeter, maybe a few millimeters. Feeling that warmth in the back of the hamstring, back of the calf. Maybe even pulling the toes down closer to the face a little bit. Oh, really firing up that calf. Allow your hand, your right hand, to take both ends of the strap. And I'm going to have to move myself. I thought I set up my mat in the right spot, but I didn't. I'm in a really awkward room here, y'all. And we're going to let that foot fall out to the side. I like to keep my fingertips on my left hip so that it doesn't automatically roll over with my foot. Okay, so allowing that leg to come out and over to the side, stopping before it gets uncomfortable. Firing up through the glute here. Again, flexing those toes toward the face. Breathing into it. One more big breath in. And on the exhale, bring it back up to center. Switch sides, grabbing the left hand with the straps. And we're going to bring that foot, allow that foot to come over. It only needs to come over 5 to 6 inches. It's really all it needs to do, okay? So let that foot come over to the left side of the body And then I want you to take your, I'm gonna adjust my strap, okay? Making sure that the strap is in the ball mount of the foot. Then I want you to take your foot and turn the knife edge of the foot up to the ceiling, okay? So see how the bottom of my foot turned towards you? Oh yeah. If you're doing it right, your IT band all down the side of your leg should be screaming right now. So breathe, breathe, nice deep breaths. One more big breath in. Coming back to center. Take the strap back into both hands. And I want you to just lift your head and shoulders. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, y'all. My mom is calling, apparently. What happened? Where did I go? There I am. Okay, I'm so sorry. My mom just called. Okay.
So, I'm sorry. You're lifting the shoulders and the head and the neck. Okay? So keeping the head, the neck, the shoulders straight. Maybe walking the fingertips up just slightly and then lowering back down, allowing the shoulders to sink back into the mat, applying a little bit of tension to the back of the leg, breathing into it. And then releasing that foot out of the strap, moving your strap to the left side. Oh, I'm rolled on mine. You're gonna need it again in just a minute, hugging that knee into the chest and then finding any movement here that you feel feels good, okay? So maybe just rolling around that knee in the socket one more time. And then stretching your right foot out. I always like to feel the difference in my legs after I've done this. Because as I mentioned to you in our Facebook post earlier, if you saw it, we're going to lengthen our legs tonight. I always feel like my legs are getting longer after I do those yoga poses with the strap. So see if you can feel it. Does your right leg feel longer than your left? Mine totally does, okay? Maybe it's just feeling more relaxed and it's all in my head, but I'll just keep telling myself I'm getting taller. All right, you guys. So we're gonna do this again. Oh, before we grab our strap, let's bring that left knee into the chest now. Hugging it in. And then finding some movement, rolling that femur head around in the socket. Giving yourself time to stop and linger anywhere where it feels sticky or just might need a little extra love. And then bringing the knee back into neutral, pulling that knee into the chest tight. And then finding your strap, wrapping the strap around the ball mount of the left foot this time. Coming into our first position, which is just straight up. So finding a bend in your knee if you need to. I have been running a lot lately. So my hamstrings and my calves are really tight. As you can see, I can't get my legs straight. Means I need to be practicing more yoga. Straightening up the leg if you can, or just keeping it bent, pulling those toes down towards the face. When you do that, you should feel all those muscles in your legs fire up and start to get warm. Creating energy there. Strength. All right, folks, we're going to take that the yoga straps into your left hand this time. And allowing that foot to fall out. Use your hands on your right hip bone to keep your right hip down on the mat. Allow it to fall wherever feels comfortable in your body. Flexing the toes toward the face. One more big inhale together. Exhale, bring it back up. Grabbing that strap in the right hand. Remember, we don't need to bring it over very far, just a little bit. Just bring it over a few inches and then turn the knife edge of that foot up. Oh man. Flexing the toes down towards the face. Breathing into that stretch, imagining that all that air, all that beautiful oxygen that you were inhaling is going to all those tight spots and allowing you more room to expand and grow and strengthen and stretch. Coming back up through center. Again, adjusting and taking the strap into both hands. Lifting the head, neck and shoulders up, and maybe walking the fingertips up just a tad. And then allowing the shoulders, head, and neck to come back down to the mat. Pulling those toes toward the face, stretching through the heel. And then bringing that knee back into the chest, ditching your strap off to the side. Pulling that knee in, giving it a big squeeze, and then finding any movement that feels good here. Maybe rolling around that thigh bone in the hip socket. And then allowing that left leg to stretch out again. Okay, so feeling more in balance now. The left leg and the right leg stretched out, feeling good. Walking the feet in towards the buttocks. And then I want you to cross your right foot over your left. So we're going to come into cow-spaced legs. So I want you to see if you can grab either the ankle or the outside of each foot. Okay, you might need to come up to do it, that's fine, okay? So we're gonna grab and then see if you can rest your head and neck back down. So we're breathing into, stretching the outside of the hips now. And the glutes. You should feel that right glute fired up. One more big breath in. Release, and let's switch to the other side. So left leg goes on top, reaching for the ankles or the outside of the feet. And everybody is different, right? So sometimes I like to play with the placement of my feet. Like maybe if I make my legs more into right angles, how does that feel in the body? This is your yoga practice, okay? So yoga is more about feeling than about what it looks like. We want it to feel right in our body. And if this feels good to you and you're getting a good stretch out of it, why not? Lowering both feet to the ground, unwinding. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out wide in Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. Bringing one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Just taking a moment to be grateful to yourself for making this time on your mat today. Grateful for giving this gift to your body, to yourself. Bringing your hands now to the outside of your legs, pushing those knees back together. Grab behind your knees, and I want you to roll like a little ball and a little kid up to standing. Can you roll all the way up to standing? Let's see if you can do it. Nice job, ladies. So I challenge the kids to do it all the time without using their hands. Can you stand up without using your hands? So if they ask you to do that, Sarah Karashin. All right. So here we go. Are we ready? Bringing your hands down by your sides in mountain pose. I'm going to stand down here awkwardly at the end of the mat. So you can kind of see my head, but you guys know these. So we're going to start in our mountain pose, and I want you to lift your shoulders all the way up to your ears and then drop them down your back. Lift your shoulders all the way up, drop them down. Again, lift them up, drop them down. Good job. Okay, so now bringing the hands up overhead, and we're going to take our hands, interlace them, and bring your palms up to the ceiling. So interlace your hands, bring your palms up to the ceiling, and then allow your hands to fall to the left side. So stretching through the side body here. You can play with your gaze here. Maybe it feels good to lead your gaze down towards the mat. Maybe you can challenge yourself and open up that chest a little bit more by taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. Coming back through center and to the other side. Pressing down evenly, grounded through the feet. Coming back up through center. And then bringing the arms down. Now we come into sun salutations. So I'm going to actually just instruct you guys. So I'm going to watch you as you go through. This is not new for you guys, so I know you don't need me to demo. All right, so standing in your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, forward fold all the way to the toes. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or low plank. Upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Excellent. Taking a big breath in your down dog. Open your mouth and let it go. Again, big breath in. Open, let it go. Last time, big breath in. Let your breath go as you step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, flatten your back, inhale, and fold. Rise all the way up and inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flatten the back. Step it back, high plank. Knees, chest, chin, or low plank. Up dog to down dog. Big breath in. Let it go. Another big breath in. Step it forward. Halfway lift, flatten the back, and fold. Rise all the way up, root to rise, hands to the heart. Great job, ladies. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, dive to the feet. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands and step it back. Through your vinyasa, high plank to low or knees, chest, chin. Upward facing and back to downward facing. Big breath in. Let it go. Another big breath in. Step the right foot forward into warrior one. So checking in with our warrior one here, okay? So our hips are gonna wanna be facing the top of our mat. So sometimes that means that we need to move our foot over a little bit to the left, okay? And give ourselves a little bit more room, okay? My knee and my heel are tracking together, okay? So I've got almost a right angle bend in the front of the leg. And then my arms are coming up on my ears, okay? I'm knitting the ribs down, okay? So you're pulling the ribs and the abdominals in. You don't want to open up too much through the chest, okay? So pull that tummy in and almost like you're pulling your ribs together, okay? And then arms come up, big inhale, let it go. Another big inhale, straighten the leg. We're going to come into pyramid pose, okay? So we're going to Come forward with a flat back. So we're going to hinge at the hips, coming down, bringing your hand, maybe your right hand comes to rest on your right leg, okay? Feeling a really intense stretch through the back of the leg. It might feel more comfortable in your body, especially if you have long legs, and bringing your foot up a little bit, okay? So your stance is not so wide, okay? And then just breathing into the back of the leg, allowing, as if the breath that you are breathing in is allowing you a little bit more room to expand and grow and strengthen. We're going to bring those left fingertips now down to the floor, reaching the right fingertips up for revolved triangle. Lowering the right hand, planting the hand, stepping the right foot and the left foot back into our plank pose and through your vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. Taking a moment on our down dog here to refocus our breath. And then bringing that left foot forward in between the hands. We're going to rise up into warrior one again, okay? So warrior one feels a lot more comfortable to me when my feet are in railroad tracks, okay? So one is here and one is almost all the way over on the other side of the mat so that I can keep my hips squared with the front of the mat. And then I can bring my arms up, okay? So that allows me to fire up in both legs, okay? This is a very strong, a warrior, strong position. So the whole body should be working here. And then straightening the leg, allowing yourself to shorten your stance if you need to, if that feels more comfortable in your body. And then hinging from our hips and tipping over and finding maybe the floor, maybe the shin. Using our hand just to lightly place down for balance, not pressing into our shin. Pulling that right hip forward. It's going to want to go back towards the back of the mat. And then bringing that left fingertips down to the mat. We're going to come into that revolved triangle. So left arm is going to come up to the sky. Breathing into that left leg, through the back of the left leg. Into the twist. And then lowering back down, stepping both feet back to a plank and through your vinyasa. High plank to low or knees, chest, chin. Lift your right foot up behind you, high and strong. Then bend your knee and stack your hip open. Almost like you're trying to use your left heel to kick your right buttocks. Now bring that knee, that right knee forward, and I want you to see if you can bring your knee to your nose, close to your nose, as close as you can. Then go back up. Knee to your right elbow. Then go back up. Knee to your left elbow. Back up. Now bring it through in between the hands. Left foot goes down to the ground, rising up into warrior two this time. Beautiful, ladies. So checking in with our warrior two, looking down and making sure that the knee is tracking right over the heel. Arms are out to our sides. So I always thought that it was good to stretch your fingers out in these poses, but I actually learned that you concentrate, you focus more energy when you keep the fingers together. So actually try it in this pose. Take your fingers and stick them out wide, okay? And feel what that feels like. And then close the fingers and feel what that feels like. I can actually feel the energy like radiating through my arms right now. That's heat. That heat is energy. It's awesome. All right, you guys. So flipping the front palm, we're going to float back into our reverse warrior. One more big breath in. Let it out as you come back forward into our extended side ankle. So we're going to bring our arm up to the sky and then bringing the elbow towards the ear. So allow the elbow to rest on the knee. You can also bring the fingertips down to the floor. But we want to feel that long line of energy that starts at the left toes and goes all the way through the left fingertips. And then through your vinyasa, planting the hands, stepping back to plank pose through your vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. Left foot comes up to the sky. Bend the knee, stack the hips. As if your left foot heel is trying to kick your right buttocks. And then bring that foot through, in between the hands, bringing the knee to the nose. And then back up again. Knee to the left elbow. Back up again. Knee to the right elbow. Back up again. And then pulling that knee in between the hands. Coming up into our warrior two pose. Checking in with your front foot. Making sure that the knee and the heel are tracking. Pressing into all four corners of the back foot, firing up that leg. Feeling the energy pulsing through the arms and out through the fingertips. Feeling the energy pulsing up from the feet through the legs into the torso. Flipping the front palm and going back, reversing our warrior. And then coming back forward into our side angle pose. So starting here, making sure that your knee and your ankle are still in that alignment, okay? And then maybe bringing those fingertips down to the ground and extending the elbow towards the ear. Feeling that long line of energy starting in the right toes and going all the way through the right side of the body, out of the right fingertips at the top. And then allowing the hands to cartwheel back down, stepping that left foot back through your vinyasa, high plank to low, upward facing dog, back to downward facing dog. Knees out wide, sink the hips back, come into child's pose. All right, you guys, coming back into our downward facing dog, tucking those feet, raising the hips back up. We are going to come into a wow thing. I think I love you. All right, so bringing that right foot up to the sky, bending the knee, and then I want you to allow that knee to go like just like we did before when we were trying to kick our buttocks, but now see that foot behind you and see if you can allow it to come down to the ground and lift off, lifting the hips up to the sky. Just try it. Good job, you guys. When you've had enough, flip back over into your downward facing dog. We're gonna do the other side. Ready? Left foot comes up. Bend the knee. Pretend like you're gonna kick your bottom. And then see if you can set that foot down. Bring the other arm up and over. Wild thing. And when you've had enough, coming back to downward facing dog and lowering all the way to your belly. Hands down by your sides. Good job, you guys. So we're going to come into locust. Asana, I think. So I would like for you to grab your hands behind your lower back, interlace them. I like to try to straighten my arms here just to try to get my shoulder blades to, open up and get some stretch across the front of my chest and my collarbones. But that's not always possible for everybody because this is really intense back bend. So be kind to yourself, okay? Take the tops of your feet and press them into your mat, turning on your legs and your quads, okay? Pull the belly up and into the spine. Bring the chin to the mat. And then inhale and bring the body up. Taking the gaze just slightly in front of you. Press those feet into the mat. One more breath here. Lower back down. Let the opposite cheek come to the mat. Arms rest out down at the side. Bring your feet up towards the sky. And then windshield wiper your legs. Bring your feet back down. We're going to do one more time. This time I invite you to do a bow if you would like. So bow is where we reach back and grab our ankles and kick into them. So you can do locust like we just did, or you can do bow, okay? I'm going to do the bow version this time. So grabbing back for your ankles, keeping your knees in together, taking your gaze just slightly in front of you, just like you did with locust, okay? And then kicking into your feet and maybe lifting up your chest. Lowering back down. Let the feet come back down. Rest on the opposite cheek. Like a pancake, we're gonna flip over to our backside. Gracefully, just like a pancake. All right, so we're gonna flip over like a pancake, and I want us to do bridge pose, okay? So I want you to walk your feet in towards your buttocks, okay? As far as you can get them in towards your buttocks, and then I want you to pigeon your feet just a little bit. So turn your toes in towards one another, and that way your knees won't go all out to the side, okay? You'll try to keep them together or as close together as possible. So we're gonna press down into the feet, all four corners of the feet, and we're gonna lift up the hips. Once we get the hips lifted, taking the hands underneath of the back and maybe interlacing the palms together and wriggling the shoulders underneath. Pressing through the hips and pushing that chest automatically towards the chin. Breathing into your bridge. If you'd like to challenge your balance, you can lift your right leg up to the sky. Lower back down. Challenge your balance on the other side. Left foot up to the sky. Lower back down. And then lowering one vertebrae at a time all the way down until you get to your low back. Walking your toes out to the edges of your mat and letting your feet tent together. And then walking the feet back in together. We're going to bring that right foot up to the sky, cross it over the left, and grab behind the knee for reclined pigeon, okay? So finding your own level of comfort here. Maybe you use that right elbow to apply a little bit of pressure to the inside of the right thigh. Wherever you are, breathing deeply as if all of that oxygen that you are inhaling is going to go straight into that hip and allow it more room to expand and strengthen. Releasing your grip behind the thigh, dropping that left foot to the floor. And now just allowing your right foot to fall all the way over to the floor. Nice wide-legged twist there. Kind of scissor-legged twist. Taking the gaze the opposite way of the legs. Unwinding, coming back through center and to the other side. So taking that left leg over, wrapping it, or setting up the heel on top of the knee, and then wrapping your hands behind that right thigh. Maybe using the left for a little bit of leverage. Releasing your grip on the back of that right thigh. And then again, just allowing that left foot to go straight down to the floor. Let your legs be heavy. Bring your arms out wide. Take your gaze to the left, opposite of your knees. Unwinding, coming back through center, and then setting yourself up for your final resting pose. Taking up space on your mat, okay? Moving your arms and legs off your mat if you need to. Take up space with your savasana. Allow your body to be comfortable, not to have any of your parts touching one another. Just allow everything to be free, feeling grounded as the body is just hugged by the earth beneath it. Taking a moment to actually take note of what parts of the body are actually being supported by the earth below it. And allowing that feeling to translate into groundedness, safety, completeness.
Make a fresh start. Sometimes we need to start over in work, in love, in our place of residence, in creating our lives. Sometimes we have to start over again when we don't want to, didn't plan on it, or don't think it's fair. We may end a relationship, move, start a new job, start a new career, or begin an entirely different part of our lives. A part so different we don't recognize it as being connected to the earlier ones. It's new. We're new. Life is new. We're starting over again. Sometimes it feels like we're starting from scratch. While we may feel a sense of excitement about this new beginning, we may also harbor a sense of dread. Not again. Not one more time. I can't. I don't want to. That reaction is understandable. We become tired, frightened. We feel uncertain. Honor all your feelings, all your emotions. Remember all your lessons. Clear the way to the heart. Then make a decision. It's time for a fresh start. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, slowly bringing movement back into the body. And then slowly making your way back up to seated. Oh, I don't know how to do that. All right, you guys. I was trying to unmute you, but I'm not sure how to do that. But we'll just say our namaste first. So the light in me loves and honors the light in you. Thank you so much. It's an honor to share this practice with you. And Anne, it was lovely to see you tonight.
You too. I think I unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was fantastic. Perfect.
Girl. Yes, thank you.